this is John. Hey, I worked for almost a month to produce this video. It was an hour long, and when I went to put it up on YouTube, guess what happened? They blocked almost all of it. This is a great version, really cream of the crop stuff, but if you want to see the full-length version, go to the link that's in the description and you can watch the whole thing. But I think you'll really enjoy this. I cover a lot of things in my normal podcast, but I'm going to do something today I've never done before, which is I'm going to focus on my favorite musical artist of all time. I'm going to try to convince you through playing snippets of this artist's songs that he is the greatest vocalist in the history of pop music. I want to specify, I'm not saying that he's the greatest singer in pop music history. I'm saying he's the greatest vocalist. And to me, what a vocalist is a vocal artist, someone that uses their skill and their creative abilities to create incredible vocal performances. And that's what this is about today. If you are a fan of the Beatles or Paul McCartney, you're going to really love this because I'm going to go deep and I'm going to play some isolated vocals that really demonstrate his incredible ability as a singer, as a vocalist, sorry. So to begin with, I'm going to launch right into the very first recorded sound that you hear on side A of the Beatles' very first album. It's Paul McCartney. That count off is symbolic of the cultural explosion. They literally changed the world, not only just music, fashion, social ideas, everything. And that's Paul. That's Paul's song with a little help from John, but that's Paul's song. It's Paul's baby. I believe he wrote it when he was about 15. This is Paul on the third highest harmony part. Listen to how he comes in and how he screams at the end. That's Paul. That's Paul. Yeah. That highest scream, that's Paul. And I don't care what Little Richard says, nobody sang like that before. I think of Paul being influenced by so much great music that he heard in his youth. He talks about how his dad played all these great old songs. And I know that John and Paul were They were serious songwriters. They dreamed about being a legendary songwriting team that would write for people like Sinatra.
Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love. I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I'll get you
so awesome.
anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. 'Cause I don't care too much for money, but money can't buy me love. I'll give
you just the attitude in this. This is a song that Paul and John wrote. I've gathered that this is kind of more of a Paul song, but he wrote this, and this is his heart and his music and his melodies, and it's coming out with this kind of force that's so explosive and magical and vibrant. It's just awesome.
care too much for money, money can't buy me love.
That is Paul.
I'm gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He said he had to miss it, but he got a lot of fun, oh baby. Yeah, oh baby. Ooh, baby.
Okay, so this is Paul doing his Little Richard tribute, which he acknowledges, and Little Richard was quick to point out several times. But it's just, there was nobody in America or Britain or anywhere that was capable of singing like this. All of those British, the British wave bands that came out, nobody had a vocalist that could sing like this. This is just him rocking out, which as he got older, his voice, as it matured, it took this kind of singing to a whole nother level. And here we have a song, Paul's obvious first great ballad, and such a tender and beautiful vocal performance.
I give her all my love, that's all I do. And if you saw my love,
He's double tracking his voice there, which the Beatles did a lot, which I love too. But so mature. I mean, a young man in his early 20s, not only writing such a beautiful, mature song, but singing it so tenderly, as he says in the song. This is always, for me, is perhaps John Lennon's greatest vocal performance, especially listening to it kind of soloed up here, which I'm going to play for you. But just check out Paul McCartney's high vocal that he sings in harmony above John. It's really amazing.
She said that living with me was bringing her down, yeah. She would never be free
So
when
cool.
I was around.
Love this.
She's got a
That's so
ticket
cool.
to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, but she don't care.
And then, of course, this awesome.
My baby don't care. My baby don't care.
You know, I imagine all the musicians all around the world that were hearing this just incredible music suddenly exploding into the world and just looking at each other going, oh, what's happening? How do we compete with this? Such attitude. So awesome. Okay, now this one might be a little predictable, but I'm just like kind of showing you how I see Paul moving into a higher level, a different range that he's going to go into in just a short period of time. This is from 1966.
Got a good reason for taking the easy way out.
Beautiful harmony.
Got a good reason for taking the easy way out now.
All right, this is 1966, and this is clearly when the Beatles are once again changing the world of music and moving into this even higher level of artistry in their lyrics, in their melodies, their arrangements, their production. A beautiful song that Paul apparently wrote when he was trying to impress girls at a party when he was a young guy. He'd sit in the corner trying to look sophisticated, and he played this little French-sounding tune that he wrote. Lennon said to him, hey, remember that thing you used to play? You should pull it out, make something out of it. So this is what he made out of it.
I want you, I want you, I want you. I think you know by now. I'll get to you somehow. Until I do, I'm telling you so you'll understand. Michel, ma belle, sont des mots qui vont très bien ensemble. And I will say the only words I know that you'll understand, my Michel.
A young guy writing something that's so sophisticated, incorporating foreign French language into a lyric on a pop song. You know, it's not like no one else had ever done that before, but we're talking about a group of 4 rock and roll artists that came out of Liverpool, England. Pretty amazing. Double track vocal. Just a masterwork of pop rock melody, vocals, guitars, bass, everything incredible. Okay, here's once again Paul, a master of the beautiful ballad in what is certainly one of my top 5 favorite songs he's ever written. And according to an interview with John Lennon, one of his last interviews he gave, he said that this is his favorite song that they ever recorded, believe it or not.
To lead a better life, I need my love to be here, making each day of the year, changing my life with a wave of the hand. Nobody can deny the
it's almost like he's barely singing. It's almost like a whisper, and it's deliberate that way. That's a choice that he made, and it's just so lovely. And this bridge here, his vocal on this bridge is just amazing.
I wander everywhere, and if she's beside me, I know I need never care. But to love her is to need her everywhere.
So, McCartney, right out of the gate, both John and Paul, brilliant songwriters. And this is where things are starting to get really, really interesting. Pull up a chart from any month. Listen to all the songs that were the top 40 pop hits of the time. Listen to all of them and compare it to what Paul and the Beatles were doing at that time. It's like it's from another universe. We're heading into Sgt. Pepper in 1967, and I'm going to point out some interesting things that are added to Paul's palette flavors during this period. Jumping into Day in the Life, and of course this is such a legendary song. I just want to point out something really interesting that what sounds to me like Paul doing in this vocal section here.
Found my way downstairs and drank a cup. Then looking up, I noticed I was late. Found my coat and grabbed my hat. Made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and had a smoke. Then somebody spoke and I went into a dream.
That sounds like Paul to me, singing that loudest part. It sounds almost out of tune. It's certainly out of time. The movement that they're making is not in perfect time with the music. It's deliberate, obviously. It's a deliberate choice that was made. All right, let's check out McCartney on the song that he wrote that kind of formed the concept of this album that completely changed the music world and really changed culture completely.
I don't really want to stop the show, but although you might like to know that the singer's gonna sing a song, and he wants you all to sing along.
Yeah.
So let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Yeah.
That's just awesome. It makes me want to pick up my guitar and play and sing and rock out and write music and perform music and record music. He's such a bold, adventurous, fearless, inventive musician and writer and artist. He puts out a lot of material. And, it's funny because a lot of people are critical of some of his stuff. I remember one guy, this musician I knew, was like attempting to claim that the Beatles were a joke because of Yellow Submarine, and he started singing the chorus of Yellow Submarine mockingly. And I'm thinking, maybe if you're not a Beatles fan or you don't know McCartney like Beatles fans know him, you understand that that's all part of the beautiful canvas that he created and that they created. And so when you hear a song that's kind of almost like a novelty or something like that, that just makes the whole picture all the more rich, that he's capable of doing the most dramatic, rich, inventive, beautiful music, and then he can just turn around and do something that's fun or do something for his kids, like when he recorded Mary Had a Little Lamb. He got raked over the coals by the critics when he recorded that in the early 70s. And I'm thinking, I don't like it. There's a lot of stuff of his I don't like, but good on him for doing it. He's making music. He's always been that way. It just pours out of him.
I admit it's getting better, a little better, all the time. It can't get no worse. Yes, I admit it's getting better, it's getting better. Since you've been mine, getting so much better all the time. It's getting better all the time. Better, getting so much better all the time.
Goose flesh.
And it really doesn't matter if I'm wrong, I'm right. Where I belong, I'm right. Where I belong.
Yeah.
Silly people run around, they worry me and never ask me why they don't get past my door.
Yeah.
I'm taking the time for a number of things
Cool.
that weren't important yesterday, and I still go.
So cool. This whole outro.
Fixing a hole where the rain gets in stops my mind from wondering where it will go, where it will go.
Stunningly beautiful music. The melodies, the arrangement, the production, the song, the composition, everything about it is stellar. And not only stellar, but incredibly inventive and groundbreaking and totally different. This album just blew everyone's minds. And by that time, the Beatles had already been blowing the minds of everyone up until that point. And it had reached a point where it's like, are they ever going to stop ratcheting the level of creativity and excellence up any higher? This is from a single that they released, Hello Goodbye. Check out what Paul's doing in the middle of Hello Goodbye.
Why, do you say goodbye, goodbye, I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello, hello.
That's Paul. That's Paul. That's all Paul. Man, I can imagine maybe the guys got a little annoyed sometimes with him. He just seems like he was constantly just like at 110%, just like balls to the wall, just energy and enthusiasm. I would kill to work with a musician like him. Be in a band with a musician like him. Amazing. All right, now we jump into 1968, and there's this incredible change that happens between the psychedelic time of Sgt. Pepper Magical Mystery Tour and the period when they record this song before they leave for their trip to India. Listen to the vast change that has happened in this little short period of time. Listen to how McCartney has once again almost created a character with his voice.
See how they run, Lady Madonna, children at your feet. Wonder how you manage to make ends meet.
He's deliberately giving it a tonal quality, kind of a guttural quality for this song, and he had never done that before. This is a new thing for him, this particular style of singing that he's doing right there. Okay, now this is another track from 1968. This is before they left for India, but this is John Lennon's incredible song, Hey Bulldog. I want you just to check out the vocal harmony that Paul does. John is actually singing the high part, and Paul does this harmony below it that is so hard to sing. I've tried it. It's really hard.
Big man, yeah, walking in the park, wigwam.
That's Paul high there.
Of the dark.
But now Paul goes low.
Some kind of solitude is measured out in you. You think you know me, but you haven't got a clue.
This is awesome.
Hey, bulldog. Hey, bulldog.
Paul singing the high part. Hey, bulldog.
Hey, bulldog. Hey, bulldog. Hey, man. What's that, boy?
What do you say? I said, you don't anymore. Okay, quiet! Hey, Bulldog! Hey, Bulldog! Quiet! Okay, quiet!
Monster musicians, composers, singers, rock stars at the absolute peak. I don't know what happened to him in India, but when he came back, he was a different singer, a very different singer. And he started doing things that are mind-blowing.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide, where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride, till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah. Well, do you, don't you want me to love you? I'm coming down fast, but I'm miles above you. Tell me, come on, tell me the answer. Well, you may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Now, helter skelter, helter skelter, helter skelter. Yeah. Woo!
You may have never actually noticed those very cool backing vocals. They're buried in the mix. And the first time I heard these isolated vocals, it blew my mind. They're very concise, and they put all that work into something because that's what the way they were. They were artists, and you can barely hear it in the final mix.
But will you, won't you want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me the answer. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out! Helter skelter, helter skelter, helter skelter.
This part.
Look out! 'Cause here she comes.
I love this.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide, and I stop and I turn and I go for a ride, and I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Well, do you, don't you want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me your answer. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out! Helter skelter, helter skelter. Well, look out! Helter skelter. She's coming down fast.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I've never heard a more thrilling rock and roll vocal performance in my entire life. Never.
I would like you to dance.
All the Beatles girlfriends.
I would like you to dance. Dance, yeah. Woo! Come on. They say it's your birthday.
Paul on the top part.
Was my birthday too, yeah? They say it's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home.
Home. H-O-M-E.
Desmond stays at home and does his pretty face, and in the evening she's a singer with the band.
He really rips it up here.
Oh, brother, life goes on, la la, how the life goes on. And if you want some fun, say oh blah dee blah da. Thank you.
We've heard Paul sing many ballads before, but like I was saying earlier, his voice takes on a different texture. A maturity has come in, and he now sings these gentle ballads with a new richness in his voice that I just love so much.
You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Into the light of a dark black night.
The work of a true genius artist. Okay, now we're moving beyond the White Album and we're going into what is now known as the Get Back Project, which I'm sure all of you fans have seen the movie. Cool movie. A movie I waited literally from the time I was 16 years old. I've been waiting for that footage to be released. Used to fantasize about it. Imagine what it was like. This is one of my favorite Song of John's, and to me, one of John Lennon's most heartfelt performances and songs. When he's singing Don't Let Me Down, because I know so much about John's story, I really hear that as a heart cry. He had been let down by many people in his life. I think he was scared. He was so in love with this woman, and he was afraid that she was going to turn out to be a letdown, you know, like so many other people had been in his past. But check out Paul and John singing this together. John is just at the top of his passion and the strength of his voice. But listen how McCartney is singing the harmony above him. Listen to what Paul brings to this part.
I guess nobody ever really done me. Ooh, she done me. She done me good. Don't let me down. Hey!
Cool.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Man.
Yeah.
This is Paul doing this stuff, this high falsetto stuff.
Ow, don't let me down.
So cool.
Ow, don't let me down.
Jeez, these vocals.
Can you dig it? Don't let me down.
It's one of the reasons I love listening to these isolated vocals, especially songs like that, man. You really hear their ability and the passion and emotion they poured into so many of these songs. As all of you fans know, this is live, no overdubs. This is on the Apple rooftop, and they're doing a performance of this song, so this is totally live.
And if you leave me, I won't be late again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I've got a feeling, yeah. I've got a feeling.
Check this out.
All these years I've been wandering around, wondering how come nobody told me. All that I've been looking for was somebody who looked like you.
That's so awesome. Just another example of Paul in this time period. Nobody could touch him. Nobody. In my opinion, no one has ever touched him in this time period of his career. Just the greatest rock singer, greatest ballad singer, just greatest vocalist, period. Abbey Road. This is a song of George's, but I just want you to hear Paul when he's singing this harmony vocal with George on George's most beautiful composition ever and one of the Beatles' greatest ever recordings. Check out Paul singing the high harmony above George's lead vocal.
You stick around now, it may show. I don't know.
There's a famous story that McCartney had a vision for what he wanted to do vocally in this song, and apparently he came into the studio before the rest of the band every morning before they all arrived, and I guess he did it consecutively for like a week, trying every morning to nail this performance until he got this.
Believe me, darling, when you told me didn't need me anymore. Oh, well, you know, I nearly fell down and cried.
So cool.
When you told me
Wow.
you didn't need me anymore. Oh, well, you know, I nearly fell down and died. Oh, darling,
So cool.
please believe me. I'll never let you down. Oh, believe me, darling. Believe me when I tell you. I'll never do you no harm.
That is awesome. Second side of Abbey Road. Here we go.
Soon we'll be away from here. Step on the gas and wipe that tear away. One sweet dream came true today.
Check this out.
Came true today. Yes, it did.
That's awesome. Paul McCartney, man, top of his game. The last song and the last track on the Beatles' last album, Golden Slumbers.
Golden slumbers fill your eyes. Smiles awake you when you rise. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. Oh yeah, all right. Are you gonna be in my dreams tonight?
And of course, Ringo takes off there. But you'll have to check out the album Beatles Abbey Road to hear that for yourself. All right, if you made it this far, that means you're a serious McCartney fan like I am, which means that you'll enjoy the second half of this series. I'm going to be covering Paul's work as a solo artist and with Wings, starting from 1970 through the early 80s. McCartney continued to do amazing work, and it's going to be really fun to dive into that part of his music career. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I would really appreciate if you'd give me a thumbs up, because that helps more people find my videos and find my channel. Please check out my website. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm all over the place, so check it out. I hope to see you again soon.